Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Vortex Crystal Lifers. And for those of you that are new to Vortex Crystal Life, welcome to my channel. Like, subscribe, share. Today, I decided to jump on here because I wanted to share some stuff that I've been going through and also share some opinions that I have on what's going on with Shanquella Robinson's case. Now, we all found out that this happened to her in December. Well, actually, what was it? No, this happened to her in October. Okay. I remember because it was close to my birthday that it happened. My birthday was October 27th. And she went out to Cabo during that time and lost her life. Okay. Now, what I'm blown away by is that there's no arrest that's been made. Okay? Nobody is in jail. This girl is dead, came back to the United States to her parents in a box, and no arrests have been made. They even had video of her being beaten, and no arrests have been made. Now, from my understanding, the way the extradition treaties work is that if there's a murder and they're charged with a murder in another country, then they can be extradited. But since Mexico put this as a femicide, they didn't have to extradite these people back to Mexico. Okay? Now, that does not make any sense to me whatsoever, because murder is murder, whether it was femicide, homicide, gemicide, whatever side. We're going to put the shit to the side and say that it was murder, okay? Straight up. And I feel because of the fact of this being the reason with Shanquilla is the reason why there's no arrest that's been made. Okay, now, has she been from a rich area and had it been different than this, it would have been some arrests made. They would have figured out a way to extradite those people back to Mexico, okay? From what I was seeing on YouTube and other different videos was that Mexico wanted to file charges. Okay, but the United States did not have to extradite these people back. Okay, so they're walking around free, changed their phone numbers, took down their social media networks, and nothing happened. So where does that leave this girl's family? With no closure. Now, really, honestly, if it was me and that was my daughter, I would be in jail. Seriously, I would be in prison right now. They would have had to arrest me for being, or what you call, I don't even remember the name for it, but I think I would have been taking the law into my own hands, and I would have been in jail. Okay, I wouldn't even waited for none of this other stuff. If it had been my daughter, okay, either one of my daughters, I have 2 daughters. If it had been either one of my daughters, I would be sitting in jail. I would have been considered what you call a person that took the law in my own hands. Okay? I wouldn't have waited. And to me, I feel like that family should file a lawsuit against whoever owned that villa for wrongful death. Because that is so unfair. Not only that, nobody's really talking about it anymore. So it's like, it's just whatever. She gone, whatever. It's sad and it's jacked up because of the fact that this girl lost her life over there. And I feel that it was planned. I feel that they knew that they could get away with it if they went to another country and killed her. Somebody schooled them and told them. I also feel that whoever owned this villa has a lot of pull somewhere and it's being swept under the rug. And what's happening with the family? I haven't even seen anything from the family saying anything. Everything just went silent. And I'm just trying to figure out why everything went silent. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Period. I would have been a vigilante, okay? Period. That would have been what I would have did. I would have became a vigilante on that situation, okay? If it was me, it would have been a vigilante, okay? I didn't want to do no readings. I didn't really want to do that, but I think I'm going to touch these cards anyway. Because I have a funny feeling that this has something to do with the community that doesn't want to be touched on this. But I have a funny feeling that this was more than just her being jumped on by what we seen in that video. We had a nurse that was on there that was doing videos and talking about the XY chromosome and the double X chromosome. And yeah, you don't just get hit by another female and have a decapitation internally. I work in healthcare, and a decapitation internally is coming from somebody way stronger than what we saw, okay? You guys put the rest of that together on your own, but I feel like this is a lot deeper politically, and I'm not going to go into that. But I feel like we all need to be hollering justice for Shanquilla, just like we hollered justice for those guys that were taken out of here by the rogue police officers. We need to be hollering justice. Just like we hollered justice for George Floyd, we need to be hollering justice for Shanquella Robinson, because it needs to be, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. I mean, she was buried. It was great. People gave money. But let's find out. Here's a card that just came out. Let's find out what happened. What's going on here? Maybe somebody is in jail. You see that Department of Corrections that showed up? Somebody probably has been arrested and it's probably just not out. Maybe the person that did this has been arrested and it's just not being exposed or talked about. Maybe they are going to make an arrest and they're just not talking about it. Now, see this card? It just dropped out. It just dropped out. Department of Corrections. This tells me right here that somebody will probably be arrested. It's going to be some kind of justice, and I just believe that the United States is going to create a law that's going to make examples out of these people that did that. Because even with you going overseas, committing a crime, you should still be held liable for it, even if it is overseas, because you are a U.S. citizen. and it should fall under the embassy. Okay, they left the country. They shouldn't have left because they committed a crime in another country. Even if they did step foot over here to the United States, that is federal. Okay, and they went over to the mother saying that she died from alcohol poisoning, which was a bunch of bullshit. We already know that. So this right here tells me that there's going to be some type of federal charges brought. We just don't know when. Hopefully it's soon. Usually when the FBI works, they don't really say too much. We don't find out too much, but let's see. This right here tells me this was a jealousy involved. There's the loss of a loved one. This tells me that that family is still grieving heavy behind this girl. The loss of a loved one. And I also feel like she was murdered because of something that was going on with some kind of jealousy pertaining to a male. This has something to do with something. This is something that was long held against this girl that she didn't really pay no attention to, or maybe she thought was done and it wasn't. Okay, look at this. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta reach down here and grab this card that just fell. I gotta grab this card that just fell. Hang on 1 second. I think that Shanquilla basically had leveled up. I also feel once we started doing a little bit of research on this girl, we found out that she had some kind of PPP loan, and she started a business and it became super successful. And I think what she did was separated herself from who she thought were naysayers. And when she separated herself, she went right into the arms of some naysayers that she called her friends, okay? Let's see here. Come on now. Will there be some arrests? This tells me she was working super hard on her business, and she had already had this business proposal planned before she even got that PPP money. And I believe that she was really good friends with this guy that she told that she was going to do. She had told him basically what she had planned to do, and she followed up on everything. I feel that it was a lot of jealousy involved also because she followed through with what she was going to do, but everybody else didn't. This tells me that they already had it out for her before she even stepped foot off that plane. They had already had it out. And she thought they were her friends, but they really weren't. They were roses with thorns, okay? Which tells me that they were never really her friends, and she had always been through problems with certain people that called themselves her friends, but they were actually frenemies, okay? Another thing, too, is what I'm looking at is that boyfriend, how come he didn't go? That doesn't make no sense. How did you let your girl go out of the country by herself? This right here is a little bit strange. You see that right there where it says secretly you go out, swing. When I secretly go out and swing when I'm bored. So this tells me what was they, What was going on? Were they planning to were they planning some kind of swinger situation? Was this some type of swinger thing that went wrong? I mean, we really don't know what happened. We really don't know what went on and why this girl got jumped on. Somebody said, oh, she did some crazy shit, but what kind of crazy shit did she do to where it would turn out to be a serious fight like that? Something inside of me is also telling me that they didn't mean to kill her, but what they meant to do was jump on her. They didn't expect her to die, and she did. So that was like a oops. But at the same time, you had plans on jumping on her, but why would you do it when she was over in another country? Why didn't you do it when she was in her hometown? Why did you even invite her out to do that shit? Because you knew that you probably had intentions on taking it to that next level. This has something to do with some type of relationship. Some guy. Maybe this was a guy involved. Usually when females fight like that, it's usually behind a man. It's usually behind something that has something to do with a man. Did she sleep with somebody's man? Was that somebody that slept with her man? I mean, what for her to be taken by surprise like that? This had to have something to do with some type of relationship, or it was something that was brought up from the past. I think it was that game that they were playing, because they were playing a card game, and then everything went from sugar to shit. And I did say that I was not going to use my channel to be doing no readings, but for some reason, Shanquilla is like, no, we need to talk. We need to bring this out. Shanquilla, what is it that you're trying to say that you want everybody to know? What? What is it that you want to say? What do you want to say? Okay. You've attracted good news. Does this mean that there's going to be some arrests made? I know you're still around. I know you're still around. And your spirit is not going to rest until what's wrong is right. So tell us what we need to know. Everybody has their own opinions to these readings too. So I just want to see what Shanquilla has to say. She's talking about protecting her family at all costs. Her family is what's her major concern, is her family. Her mom, her dad, her sister, her family. She's worried about her family, okay? She's worried about her family. This girl had a really good heart, too. That's what I'm getting, is that she was a forgiving person. I'm picking that up from her, too, that she was a really forgiving person. What are you trying to say, Shanquilla? What's happening? What's happening? Ooh, that's heavy. That's heavy. You guys see that, right? It says secretly dating a beautiful woman. You guys see that? You see that? That explains a lot to me. Wow. And that community doesn't want that kind of drama out. Okay? That community does not want a lot of drama out. They don't want a lot of drama or surrounded around them. Wow, that tells me that some kind of secret came out. Uh-oh. Okay, come on, talk to me. So I say she has a big forgiving heart. So is she saying that she forgives these people for what happened to her? Is she saying she forgives them? Because that's what this card shows me right there. And then this card right here says Wow, look at that. You guys see that? Revenge for sleeping with somebody. This was somebody that was sleeping with somebody. Maybe this was someone that she had an affair with, or maybe somebody that she told. Maybe it was something that came out that wasn't supposed to come out. And she exposed somebody. And that's what probably drew that fight. Something happened. Something like that happened. These cards are not going to sit here and lie. Trust me. This says right here, revenge, sleeping with your homie or family member. So something came out about somebody. And this card is jumping back out at me again, too. So this right here tells me that somebody's going to jail. So they are going to make some arrests. Okay, there's going to probably be one arrest. This card just turned over 2 of them. I'm not really sure what this means. Life is short, do it. I'm not sure what that means. But look at this. I am who I am, not who you want me to be. Wow. This says a lot. Woo! This says a lot. This right here tells me that there was a lot of words exchanged. Oh, this jumped out. You see that? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Haters casting spells on you. I believe that's for me. I believe some of these cards, and this card right here, especially this card right here, is for me. Because the reason why I say that is because I had my brother passed away on the 4th of February. And then my husband passed away this past Friday. And it's been hard for me, seriously. And I'm sitting here being strong right now. But maybe after this video, I might be crying. Who knows? But a lot of shit that's been going on lately has been very, very strange. I actually wrote a book, Dirty Secrets, and I started doing my audios here on YouTube. And since I've been doing the audios on YouTube, I've noticed that a lot of people are liking the video or viewing the video, but I'm also feeling a lot of hate and animosity too from people that really don't want to see me go nowhere. But guess what? I'm going to continue to keep fighting through this. I'm going to continue to keep fighting through this. And I believe that Shanquilla's spirit, because she was a Capricorn, her spirit, she was a hard-working female that believed in her dreams. She was a good person. She forgave people. She tried to help everybody. I also feel that her mom was very proud of her, and they talked about long-term goals. I believe that her dad was a big influence in her life, and she had her mom and her dad in her life that were actively in her life. And a lot of people this color don't. I had my mom and my dad too, okay? I especially had my dad in my life. But a lot of us don't have that. She had that. And she had a lot of love surrounding her because she was that type of person. A lot of people loved her. She got a lot of attention. And her clothing line was amazing. The way she did hair was amazing. This woman was definitely on her way to being a multi-millionaire. She was on her way. And jealousy is an evil thing. So evil. So nasty. So wrong. I can relate to it, Shanquilla, because I'm going through it. At my age, I'm still going through it. I don't feel like her death was in vain. I don't feel that. If you have one more thing to say, Shanquilla, can you please say it? Because we know that the body dies, but energy lives. And I believe your spirit is still here. And I believe you're going to stay because of your mom. You're really worried about your mother, your sister too. I get that. And your dad especially. But is there any message that you want to say to the world? Because you just said a whole lot through these cards. What do you want to say? Woo! You see that? So whoever it is, they're being watched by the popo. Whoever it is, they're being watched by the police. This card right here. Whoever this is, I gotta call you guys. Whoever it is, she just said they're being watched by the police. Come on, what else did you want to say? What did you want to say? Do you want to say anything to your mom and your dad? Come on, baby girl. Wow. That reminds me of Shanquilla because she was a beautiful girl. Irreplaceable. I just wasn't ready for you to leave. That tells me that she was not ready to leave. She wasn't. That tells me that she has so much on her plate and so much that she wanted to do and she was not ready to go, but it was her time. But she is irreplaceable. And her memory is going to continue to live on through her family. They need to keep that going. My intuition is telling me straight up, everything that I read, those cards that came up, are accurate, are right on point with what I read. She's still here and ain't gonna go nowhere until this is made wrong right. Look at that. That came up again. He dropped all the way out that deck. Is she talking to me? Or is she talking about people that made fake accounts? Those people that hurt her made fake accounts. Yeah, these same cards came up. She's protecting her family for sure. She's definitely protecting her family. And it was behind a man. Look at that. Look at that. Silent plans she was making. Says right there, making silent plans. And she did make silent plans. She kept a lot of her stuff to herself until she was ready to expose it to the world. And when she did that, it took off. And it was taken off. I'm not going to stay on long, you guys. But what I am going to do is I'm going to share some more of my book of Dirty Secrets. This is part 2 that I'm putting up. I put part 1 up. And I went all through part 1 audio version for people that can't see, for people that don't read, for people that like audio when they're driving, when they're cooking, when they're cleaning. You got a version of book 1 audio, and it's free. Okay? That should tell you right there that I'm not sitting up looking for nothing. Now everybody wants to call once I'm doing stuff. See how that works? But anyway, like I said, book 2, I'm going to start reading also as an audio. But book 2, I'm going to publish in this summer. I'm bringing that out. So stay tuned for Dirty Secrets, written by me. It's going to be narrated by me. Keep an eye out. Keep a watch out. For those of you that are new, like, subscribe. If you're looking for like a general glimpse reading or anything, you can leave that in the comments. I have no problem with pulling out my decks and giving you some answers, okay? I'm not saying that I'm going to be right on everything. People are not going to agree with what I'm saying. People probably ain't going to agree with some of the stuff I'm saying about Shanquilla. But I am a firm believer in the metaphysics. And I do believe that when something is wrong and a person dies wrongfully, their spirit won't rest, not until what's wrong is right. Justice for Shanquilla. And thank you for watching. Peace.